Hi heathens! So today's video is going to be a first impressions of something that I just realized I'm starting without my glasses on. I don't even know where they are. Oh well. Today is going to be a first impressions of a product that I've kind of tried before, but when I tried it, it was like one of these little samples. So now I have a full size. This is the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. I have mine in the shade Snow. So I'm going to try this because I found this at a really good price online. So I'm going to try it, see if it's worth like trying to wear, because I sometimes don't get along too well with more glowy, dewy foundations. It has a pump. The Tarte, I believe it's the Shape Tape Hydrating BB Cream or something like that. I'm going to try again in the winter when my skin's a little more dry, but for this time of year, it breaks apart way too fast on my skin. So we're going to try this one, just kind of see how it sits and see if it's worth me even trying again in the future. Everything else is going to be super simple. I'm going to take my Ariza Beauty Nude Shimmer and Contour Eyeshadow Palette and just do a super simple, small, quick little eye look with this, just to kind of have a base down, because I almost never wear foundation without something on my eyes. So anytime I'm doing any kind of makeup look and I do my foundation first, I always feel weird. So I know if I did this and didn't put anything on my eyes, I would also feel weird. And I feel like, as strange as this may sound, it may warp my opinion of the foundation if I'm only seeing it next to naked eyes. Does that sound crazy? It might. That's okay. So obviously I put down the matte shade first. Now I'm going to go in with this top shimmer. Oh, ignore my nasty nail, sorry. I really need to repaint my nails. This top shimmer, because it has a slightly more gold undertone, I feel like it'll go better with my shirt. And then that's literally all I'm going to do on the eyes. Is just this little bit. But it at least now has something down, so it's a little less stark of a contrast. So what I do want to do is go in with, if I can get it out of this little container, my Benefit Professional Pearl Primer, because I know how this works on my skin as a primer, and it does help to fill in some of my pores. I just get 2 little drops and I use one on each side of my face. So since this is a more hydrating, dewy foundation to begin with, I'm not as inclined to go in with another moisturizer over top of my dry areas, more so than what I would do on a normal basis, because it's already, typically dewier foundations tend to be for more dry skin. So I'm just going to take the tiniest bit, here it is, of my Curel Dry Skin Therapy, the smallest amount, like that, and I'm going to take this over the areas where I tend to be a little more dry, which is my forehead and across my temples. Such a small amount that you're not really going to see it on my skin. But if you look close, I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but you can see right in here some of the dryness I have. So we're going to try to give it a fighting chance like I would any other foundation I know when I go in with something a little more matte, that area needs a little more help. So we'll see. All right, like I said, it has a pump, so I don't, okay, it doesn't feel like one I need to twist. It doesn't say I have to shake it. So we're just gonna pump out a little bit on the back of my hand. I feel like I might need more than one pump. We're gonna go ahead and put a little bit more, like just to get to the amount that I would have with any other foundation. So this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. It smells pretty good. It does smell like it has a bit of watermelon in it. I'm gonna do like I do with any other foundation. Kind of mix it around on the back of my hand a little bit. Oh, I made a flower. Right, and then I'm gonna take it and just run it in little stripes down my face. It definitely looks like it's a bit peachier than I'm used to, this shade. But since I clearly don't know my undertone, maybe that's best for me. Like I said, I had tried this in like a little mini sample size, but it was really hard to tell how it worked because I didn't even really have enough in the sample to put everywhere. So now that I've got adequate stripes, I'm going to start blending in with my normal foundation brush. This is Fresh and Clean. That's the only foundation on it. I washed it over this past weekend and have not used it since. This is a BH Cosmetics number 3. So it's not going to have like any previous foundation residue, is that the right word, left behind to alter the way this is going on or looks or the coloration or any of that. So once it's blended in, the color does not look bad, whereas, you know, the little splotches looked a little peachy. I don't know if that's just because I kind of have a hard time telling from a distance if it matches my neck, because my face is always a slightly different shade whether I have on foundation or not. So it's kind of hard for me to really develop that opinion, and also I'm blind, so when I'm holding the mirror this distance away, I have a hard time discerning if that's the same color because it all becomes blurry. Alright, so looking close up, initial reactions, it's sitting pretty well. It's not what I would consider full coverage. Does it say on here? Yeah, full coverage. So I'm going to take a little bit more of what's left on the back of my hand and build up over my cheeks to see if it's buildable. But it's not clinging anywhere any different than I would say my normal foundation would, but I will say that already over my cheeks to build up, it is kind of looking similar to the Tarte hydrating Shape Tape BB cream, whatever it is that I have. So I'm afraid that this would start to break down relatively quickly if it wasn't, you know, really well set with powder, at least on me. But across my forehead, it's not looking terrible. It's not the best, but maybe I did need a little extra moisturizer because that's just my bad spot, we'll say. So I'm going to show you over here in natural lighting what we've got. So, like I said, it definitely doesn't look bad. It's kind of meshing really well. It's not terribly tacky, but it's definitely coming up a little bit. So I definitely want to set this one. The only setting powder that I see is my Laura Mercier, which is fine. I know it's a nice powder, but it's not my normal go-to. I was originally going to use like my go-to routine, but again, it's a nice powder. I don't think it's going to ruin the foundation, so I'm just going to take a little bit and start setting the cheek area. Since I'm not going to be able to do like a full day wear test, because I don't know if I mentioned it or not, my camera is broken. So I'm having a hard time editing footage the way that I normally would. So we're trying to find a workaround for that, but in the meantime I can't do full day wear tests because I can't edit the clips together. So we're just going to see how it works for now and then see if it's worth doing a full day wear test later on when I can do those again. Whether that be get a new camera or get a workaround. So it's taken quite a bit of powder to set to the touch level that I'd be comfortable with it at if I was going to set it, which sometimes for work I won't set foundations because I'm less likely to be touching my face. It's more this area that I'm worried about because I have a phone to my ear. But if I were to be home or be out running errands, this is now the level that I'd want it to be at. And again, that's a good powder, but it's not making the powder sit weird on my face. Where I put the powder, it's still very soft and smooth like any other foundation would be. So I'm going to see how it looks with a little bit of highlighter on over it. I'm going to go into my Rach Loves and Pixie palette. This is the Layers highlighting palette. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush. This is the BMX 265 Glow from Moda Pro. And I'm going to tap into Clutch down here. Again, please ignore my nails. I really need to redo them. I'm going to take Clutch. And we're just going to go over the high points of the face where I would normally put foundation. Not doing anything abnormal here. I just want to see kind of how everything pulls together with this foundation. Highlighter's going over it really well. It's not, let's show you. It's not like sitting on the skin weird. So it still blends in very nicely. And then, since I don't typically wear blush or bronzer, my nose itched, I'm not going to bother with either of those. And we're going to just go straight into the lips. So I'm going to pick something here on my desk, and we're going to go with this, which is the High Pigment Gloss from Jouer in the shade Rodeo. I would assume Rodeo and not Rodeo because it's not a drive. These are really nice. So, if you're seeing this video, you'll notice that this is edited and that my gloss is now on, which means if you're watching this video, I have, for the time being, found a workaround, because right after I was talking about the gloss and saying that it was nice and trying to put it on, my memory filled up. So hopefully you get to see this video. So either way, what I was trying to say is that with the exception of putting on mascara, which I'm trying to let my eyelashes chill out a little bit because they're acting a little weird. I know that's a strange sentence, but this is what we're looking at. Let me put in a little more light with the foundation. So I think it's definitely going to be worth giving a go, like a little full day wear, maybe even a work day wear, and we'll see if I have to wash it off at lunch. So if you've tried this, let me know. How did you like it? What skin type do you have? What shade are you? I was originally afraid Snow was going to be too light, but even, you know, face to neck, I don't think it looks that bad. So I'll just have to see how throughout the rest of my night it wears, and we'll go from there. So if you enjoyed this video, little first impressions, give it a thumbs up. If you'd rather see a full face first impressions, excuse me, rather than one product at a time, let me know down below. Subscribe to see more of my content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!